try.
Yeah, you
It
just
went
turn it.
down. Oh, that's much better. Thank you, Kevin.
Give it to Greg.
Give it to Greg. He probably feels like he's in a hole by now anyway. Okay.
One of the ways it goes up. Nice now.
You don't need that, George made it here.
Hello, my name is Don. Don. Hello, my name is. Hello, my. Well, you were just going to start down at the.
Your address is on the other side.
Probably they got.
How do you get home? Directions on how to get home.
What are those?
Do you have name sheets by some of these?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, I got dog controllers. I got one. Yeah. You got one?
We'll just go
You got
over it.
that?
We'll just start down with George and go right up through. Call the meeting to order. Could everyone please rise and salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a roll call?
Counselor Conley,
Here.
Counselor Lockwood,
Here.
Counselor Sprague,
Here.
Supervisor Lockwood.
Here. Okay. Before we get into our announcements, did everybody have a nice weekend? Wasn't that a great one? Okay. The Volney Airport Water District, probably everyone knows by now anyway, vote passed 119 yeses and 93 noes. Public dancing will resume April 23rd from 7 to 9 p.m. The Red Cross will be using the town hall from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the next 6 days to assist people who had damage from the recent ice storm. Redistricting for voting is in place. Volney has a 5th district added, and voting places will be changing. The Board of Elections will notify voters in their August mailing where they will be voting. April 13th is historian forum at 2 p.m. here at the town hall. So we'll go into committee reports. The assessor.
The meeting that I held with ORPS on March indicated some assessment adjustments needed for 203 to maintain the market value for the town. The EDA chapter appeal is scheduled to be held in Rochester in June. And just a kind of a note on that, I had some written testimony which I submitted to the hearing, which was held statewide. That was 3 places: Albany, Syracuse, and Niagara Falls, in regards to wholly exempt properties, what we call the 420. And I submitted some written testimony they were looking for anyone with particular situations in their town. And in our town, of course, the AA chapter was granted complete exemption by Judge Elliott in Oswego. And this particular hearing is in regards to that, and to overturn some of the things that are occurring with wholly exempt properties. And the two parts that I dealt with in the bill was Bill 1127, which addresses the fact that the EA chapter was using the part of the case law in which regards to or changing the case law, I guess. So the original intent of it says it's supposed to be exclusively organized for a particular reason. In this case, they're saying not exclusively, but partially, I shouldn't say primarily, that's the word I'm looking for. Their primary organization is for education, and case law has obfuscated that whole meaning from exclusive to primary. And I wrote a little bit in regards to that, indicating that they're getting their exemption in that regard. And also the fact that Bill 1123 addressed the fact that the EAA chapter does not have to demonstrate each year that they are principally or exclusively organized for educational purposes. And those particular bills, if they were passed, would change that and tighten the rules so that possibly the state laws would go back to where, and Dennis mentioned one the other day in terms of lands being used by schools and churches that were not necessarily used other than the fact that they just owned them, that they had to have a primary reason. I did not address that particular issue in this testimony that I wrote, but that's another issue too.
Dave, is EA a registered nonprofit?
Yeah, 501c3, almost anybody and their grandmother can get one of those from the Internal Revenue. But that's part of the exemption process they must go through. It's part of the road, but it doesn't mean that they're exempt from real property tax because they have a 501c3, which is a federally exemption from the Internal Revenue.
Education by itself, I don't think would qualify because you have, corporations like the Edison Institute, which is a private corporation that provides schools for children, and yet I'm sure they pay,
Well, again, the EAA changed their, when we ceased granting them their exempt, or put them back on the rolls, they changed their charter to put an educational component in it. And this is what, of course, the basis, one of the bases that Ron Carr is objecting to it. And again, like I say, case law has just turned this on its head. Just gradualism has kept working so that, pretty quick, anything could be exempt. If you put an educational or religious component, anything in an organization, you could be exempt from real property tax. And I tried to reverse this because we have such a large number in the state of New York that are exempt from real property taxes, billions of dollars that are exempt from property tax. That's the impetus of this thing here, and that's why I responded to it.
Okay. Building inspector?
I'll be a little shorter. Pretty quiet month in March. We had, for building permits, just one, an accessory building for $50. Inspections, we had 10 building code inspections and 12 zoning inspections for a total of 22. We had 4 violations on the zoning inspections. We issued 1 certificate of occupancy and 1 certificate of compliance. So our total for the month was $50, and picking up already this month.
Dog control?
I have the dog control. Dog control monthly report, month of March 2003. 60 calls received, 3 dogs housed, 1 dog at the kennel, 1 dog adopted, 1 dog redeemed, 4 dogs euthanized, 3 dogs reported lost, 400 total miles traveled this month, and he needs repairs to 4 doors, and that's made by Edward J. Smith, Volney Control Officer.
Highway?
Expenses for March 2003. Supplies and maintenance, $9,823.65. Payroll, $23,342.55. For a total of $33,166.20. Be reimbursed by the county for plowing roads, $7,433.44. The payroll hours as follows: 880 machinery repair and maintenance, 312 hours plowing and sanding, 16 hours on tree work, for a total of 1,208 hours. For the month of March, we used 185 gallons of gas, 798 gallons of diesel fuel.
Next month's report, there'll be more tree work. Historian?
This past month, the historian's office has been occupied with various family researches and preparation for the April Volney Town Forum, which will be held this Sunday, as you have already noted. The main topic for discussion will be Revolutionary War soldiers that resided in Oswego County and are buried here. And we have quite a few in Volney, matter of fact. Thank you.
We had our monthly meeting on the 7th of April. We had one person before us, AT&T Wireless came in to request to put a couple antennas on the tower on Mullen Road. It's a Verizon-owned tower. We made a resolution to accept with some criteria that they have to meet before we do accept that. And that was our only point of business that evening.
Recreation?
Okay, we had our first event of the year, which was Saturday, March 22nd, and we went to the IMAX Theater and saw The Lion King. We had 40 children and adults that went. Great time. Kids were very well behaved. They were great. It was a lot of fun. It cost $200 for the tickets into the IMAX Theater. We did take the Golden Sun bus service. We utilized them, and I gave them a voucher, and they'll send us a bill. I don't have the amount on that yet. Upcoming events, the next one is in June, Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a boater safety course. The time is still to be arranged. There'll be children 10 years old or older, and their parents are also invited to partake in that as well. I'm guessing around 30 to 40 people. But getting back to the Lion King, the kids had a great time. It was really fun. I'll let you know about the bus service amount when I got that. Thanks.
Okay. Town clerk?
The town clerk's report for April had 2 marriage licenses. The town received $27.50, 30 certified copies, and the town got $301 from that. Bingo proceeds $53.74. Dog licensing $582.93. And like John said, one building permit for $50. A junkyard license for $150. The total receipts was $1,196.74. We paid out $331.57. And the town's total income was $1,165.17.
Zoning?
The regular monthly meeting was Wednesday, April 9th at 7 p.m. Excuse me. 2 public hearings were granted. One for Dean Diston for a 12-foot side yard variance for an addition to their home. The ZBA determined that they did not need to go through the county for a 239 review because it did not have a significant impact on the traffic on Route 176, and there were no other infringements on the county road. The next one was for David Vickery for a 13-foot area variance to build storage units for this. A 239 was sent to Oswego County Planning Board. Mr. Vickery was not at the meeting to answer questions. The board did, though, set the public hearing for next month, Wednesday, May 14th, 2003, at 7 p.m. at their regular meeting, per Michelle Parrish.
Okay. Old business? New business? Okay, anyone have petitions tonight? Okay, we'll go into our resolutions.
Resolution 2003-63, approval of minutes. Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of March 13th, 2003, having been previously distributed to the town board members for their review without reading them aloud.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Resolution 2000, oh, do I have to wait for you to say you approved it? 64, payment of vouchers. Move to authorize the supervisor to instruct the bookkeeper to pay the following vouchers from the appropriate accounts. Voucher 69 through 91, general fund, in the amount of $7,786.38. Vouchers 55 through 75, highway fund, in the amount of $9,823.65. Voucher number 3, Seneca Hill Sewer, in the amount of $10,067.15. And vouchers number 6, Oswego Healthcare Water, in the amount of $66.46, as found on April abstracts number 4.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution 2003-65, authorize judges to submit grant requests. Move to authorize the judges to apply for a state funds grant from the Unified Court System to assist them in the operations of the Justice Court by automation upgrades and purchasing needed supplies and equipment. I'll move it.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution 2003-65, payment for the Fireman's Service Award. Move the town of Volney pay Fleet Bank $13,920 as a yearly payment for the Volney Volunteer Fireman's Service Award Program. A statement signed by the Secretary, Tiffany Loomis, President James Dunham, and Chief Gregory Goodrow, certifying that 29 members have completed the required 50 points for the year 2002. The town of Volney pays the maximum amount of $480 per person. The list of participating firemen has been posted at the fire station as required for 30 days. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
On this next one, we should have a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Everybody would. Resolution 2003-66, authorize supervisor to execute engineering proposal. Move to authorize the supervisor to sign the proposal for engineering services provided by Barton and Rajudis for them to proceed with the design and construction of the Volney Airport water facilities. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
We got to make up a resolution here. It'd be resolution 2003-67. It'll be authorizing the highway superintendent to purchase. Ray, I need you from this point.
It's a shear for the grade off. The price is $5,600.
What's it called?
Shear.
S-H-E-A-R?
Yeah, S-H-E-A-R. I'll second it.
Who moved?
I moved it.
You moved it.
Any second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried.
Okay. We'll go into public comments. Yes, Bill.
I'd like to know if the town board could just say something in remembrance of Jerry Houlihan. was on dog catcher from 1992 to 1998. Did a good job for the town. He attended almost every meeting. He just passed away this last week at the age of 60. And it's like, no, if we had, like, you know, something said in the minutes, we, you know, respected him or something.
Are you writing this down, Bert? Okay. Well, I had the opportunity to work with Jerry when I first came on the town board, and he was a nice guy. He did a great job for the town. I'm sorry I didn't make the wake, because we never got any newspapers at my house. I never knew about it until, I think we got all of our newspapers Monday morning, you know, and I see it in the Saturday's Valley News, and it was, by the time you get it out of there, it's too late, you know. But I, you know, my deepest respect does go out to the family.
Yes,
And-
and I worked quite closely with Jerry, and he was a great guy, and did a good job, and, but he couldn't spell. But we just loved him.
I think that's on his tombstone.
I should have kept that thing there, you see. On the board, and W-O-R-D.
Any other public comment? Yes.
Yeah, we are actually. We were down there today, as a matter of fact. But through the course of the winter, we've sent them a few notices, and now that there's no excuses that can be made that the snow is gone, we think, they're in the final stage, and if they don't comply in the next couple of weeks, actually, they'll get a court appearance.
What about the residential stuff down through there?
Actually, we're doing a full survey of every property on the road because we had a bunch of complaints in the last 2 weeks, literally, probably because of the water boat and that, just people have been coming in. And we're taking it right from front edge right down to the scrap yard and looking at every lot individually. Not to mention that we've also, or we, as me, I've been putting about today I put 4 hours in. We have about 20 violations throughout the town, that the area I covered today. And Bonnie will be writing them up next week, and those people will be notified. It's a 3-part system. They get an initial violation, and they get a second one, and we try to give them some time to correct, and then the third one is they go to talk to the judge. And then after that, it can start again if they don't comply to what the judge gives them.
What kind of time constraint they looking at on something like that?
Generally, it's a 30-day each one, and some of them would take more than 30. If somebody started a cleanup that had excessive problems, we will work with them as long as we see a consistent, steady movement of material out of the area. Flood is about one of the worst areas right now in the town. There's probably 4 properties up that are very bad, and we're keying on them along with some other ones in the town that have, you know, many cars or a lot of junk around the property. There's about a dozen that are very bad, and there's a lot of properties that have what isn't quite legal, but we're trying to key on the worst first and filling in as we go along. And again, I use we as this department, but it's me, so it's the time I get to go and do it. And we have been spending in the last month, that's some of the things I've been doing with not having quite as much load with the code enforcement part of it with building.
There's a burnout trailer, Lon William Scott. What about that? I mean, this thing's been like this for 8-9 years. I got grandkids come to my house and stuff like that, kids in the neighborhood. That thing's definitely unsafe. Lead acid batteries, chemical containers and stuff kept around there. Anybody address anything with Bill?
Is that the trailer Catherine was supposed to move?
No, that's a different property. That property had a buyer for it about 3 months ago, and he had agreed to, I think it went to, bought it, he had agreed to clean all that up, and if he doesn't, the town has actually already allowed to have us find someone to clean that up. It was started last year, some of the junk got out of there, basically the vehicles, and a little bit of trash. The trailer still sits there, so if in fact the sale does not go through, then the town will have somebody clean that particular property up, and it'll be put on the tax roll. I think it's gone back to the county though at this point, that particular property, or the bank, because I'm pretty sure it was on the block. That's why the proposed buyer, that's how I found out about the proposed buyer. He had called me to see, to have information on the property. And I explained to him that before he could do anything in there, it's an industrial zone, he wanted to put business in, and I explained that it would have to be cleaned up, grant him any type of that. I don't know if he has gone through and bought the property or not at this point.
Anyone else? Future meetings, April 16th, we're going to start a zoning update. That'll go from 6:30 to 8:30. May 5th will be our planning. May 6th will be our bill signing agenda. Preparation, that's at 6:30 p.m. Our next town board meeting will be May 8th, and that's at 7 p.m. And May 14th will be the next zoning board. We got two, yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it. Aye.
We want to stay in session.
Can I thank the people that... You already done it.
No, we didn't do it.
I'd like to thank the people that voted for the water district. I see that the, I don't know how many in this room were eligible to other than me, but maybe some. There's one, that's right. And, of course, I want to thank the ones that voted yes, a lot more than the ones that voted no, but at least they went out and voted. And it bothers me that the only time people come to board meetings is when something like this comes up and they want to come in and tear things apart. And people that voted, I feel that people that voted for this project, it's not just it's really they're voting for the future of Volney. It's something that's going to make Volney better, and they just happen to be able to benefit from it also. You know, it's what it's, me personally, if I had to pay for this to benefit for Volney, I would. It wouldn't bother me, but of course I probably I don't qualify for any of those grants, so that's one reason. But I also feel that we have to do something to kickstart things. You know, everything's been downhill. Everybody's been against us, so we have to do it ourselves. And I feel this water district hopefully will be the start of it. And I think it's really going to be a positive thing. I think we're going to see some growth, and I think there's going to be some surprises down the road. So I just want to thank everybody. That's it.
Interesting thing is there was I think, what was it, close to a 60% turnout? That was better than 50%. So it's close, probably between the 50 and 60% of all the eligible voters or all the people who could vote did turn out and vote. If we could get that good a turnout on our presidential elections and our midterm elections, we'd be ahead of the country. So it was interesting that the percentage of voters exceeded that, which turns out for normal elections, and that's on a Tuesday after one of the worst storms hit in as long as I've ever been around here. So I thought that was pretty good, that there was that many people who cared enough to get out when things were not very good. In fact, I think it snowed that night, didn't it? That little bit of snow to come out and vote.
Still working.
I guess the meeting's adjourned.
Well done.